Alrighty guys, welcome back to the Mitten Farmhouse. We have probably the most beautiful sunrise we've had yet at the property. I'm not sure how I lost this clip, didn't put it in the last video, but we have 5 terabytes worth of footage so far just on the barn build, so it's easy to lose a clip. This is the typical process we do for a barn pour, and we couldn't have asked for a better outcome. Typically when you do stuff at your own property, it doesn't turn out as good as other jobs, but this one did, thankfully. And it was a big barn to trowel myself, but I got it done. Alrighty, here you'll see Chelsea and I putting up rodent guard. This is the bottom trim piece that the steel sits on. This stops anything from getting up underneath the bottom of the wainscot and also gives a good ledge for the water to drip off of. It's angled a little bit. And Tyvek stopped the air from coming in the barn, and if we ever spray foam, it'll stop the spray foam from sticking to the back of the steel. It was a little windy, but with Chelsea helping, it went pretty good, and just thousands and thousands of staples so it didn't blow off. This is a step I see a lot of people not do on their pole barn, and I think it's a really cheap upgrade. Just make the barn more efficient and more comfortable. Here you'll see a header. We put a 2x12 up there, that way when we do an overhang someday, all we have to do is just cut out that steel in that area and we don't have to do any tricky mounting. Here you'll see Bryce and I getting this window flashed out. These are residential windows, so we wanted to do it right. Don't want them leaking through the barn. Shimmed the bottom to allow a little weep hole for water to get out. Again, it's a pole barn, but you'll see these beautiful windows. I can't remember, I think they're Anderson 100 or 200 series windows, so they should be pretty efficient. Alrighty, here you'll see the wainscot. This is just the bottom 3-foot trim piece on the barn, or the bottom 3 foot of steel on the barn. And this was a pretty satisfying step. We would hang it, stretch it to our 3-foot mark. Chelsea would put a screw in just to hold it, and this went quite quickly. We did, I think, this whole side in about an hour, so it was satisfying to get that much steel put on the barn for never have done any steel. We were losing daylight, but we turned on high gear and got it knocked out. Just wanted to get this wall done because these are the straight walls where the side white steel is a lot easier to put on. Harley and Hank love cuddling, especially in the mud. Alrighty, I would grab a sheet. These were 12-foot 3 long. I would lift it up into the bottom of the J channel, which is the top trim piece that the soffit that's underneath the soffit, and slide it up without scratching it, and then Chelsea would come and shoot a screw in the bottom just to hold it, and then we'd get the rest of the screws. Here you'll see Bryce and I building the bathroom and the utility room. Put the 1.5-inch foam, we forgot, so we had to slide it in after the Tyvek. It's kind of funny how I'll explain something in a video and then 5 minutes forget to do exactly what I just explained, but we got it in there and framed out this wall. The inside of the barn walls are 2x4, the outside of the barn walls are 2x6, that way we could get even more insulation and more room for plumbing if we needed it. And this turned out pretty good. It's just a little 7x14 room, but we have a nice deep window well, so once we get it finished off, it'll be nice in there. Here Chelsea went home for the night, and right when she texted me that she got home, I had to call her and tell her I needed her to drive 35 minutes back because I was completely stuck and needed another driver so I could drive the Bobcat and she could pull with the truck. So this was not the most stuck I've got, but I was sunk down to the frame and I was quickly sliding to the left every time I tried to move, so I didn't want to tip it over. Chelsea and I are starting the front porch gable. This is a 6x6 rough sawn cedar, and it was about $1,000 just for this little triangle, so we measured 1,000 times. This took us a while, but I was not about to ruin one of these. This is my first try at any timber framing, and I think it turned out pretty good. Definitely room for improvement. The joints weren't perfect, but these posts were not perfect. These were the cheaper ones, so they had pretty big twisting. Got it set up in front of the barn. We were just excited to see this detail. We're going to have a matching one on the house, so from the road you'll see both gables, and it should look pretty nice. You'll see these side 6x6s are purely just for looks. That roof system's tied into 2x12s into the barn to support all the weight of the roof, so we just put a bunch of 6-inch lags from the back to hold those 6x6s up. Here's digging the septic field. This was a massive hole. It was a lot more sand than we expected. And here's digging the pit for the first tank. We have two 1,500-gallon tanks. So it goes from the barn into the two tanks and then out to the field. Stay tuned, guys. I have another update video coming soon. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, thanks for staying to the end of the video. If you want, click that video on the left to watch this barn from the beginning. We're starting the house this spring, so if this is stuff you're into, hit that subscribe button. Thanks, guys.